topic, industriousness. I hope to see you here. I'm going to wait a little while for some people to show up. Then we're going to get the show started. All right, guys? I'm just going to give it just a little bit of time for some of our good fans and friends to show up. You know, guys, I put in a long, hard day's work. What's up? How you doing, man? How you doing, Triple X? He's sitting here with our, oh yeah, first on time, man. Second there, Nightshade. Whoop whoop. All right, first to like. All right, that was Nightshade. Here we go to Nightshade. Here's also to Triple X for being the first one in here. Nightshade for being the first one to like. Scald, my friends. How y'all doing? Welcome into the show. My name is Clint Gage, and tonight we're going to be talking about industriousness, guys. So I hope you'll come join me for the journey. Hey there, my Jen Jen. You about to have lunch, girl? All right, what you having? And what's up, Frosha? B Frosha. What's up, girl? How you doing, Triple X? You know, thank you for welcoming my Jen Jen in. She's at a hotel room right now, guys. She's going to enjoy a concert. Well, let's go on ahead and jump into our explanation on industriousness. Okay, guys? So, as far as time has stretched back, all right, as far as humans are concerned, it is our industriousness. It is our ability to adapt to our environment and use tools that has separated us from everything else on this planet. You know, it is our ability to be industrious, to create on a vast scale that allows us to be able to survive, guys. You know, and when you actually look at it from a, you know, I guess you could say a anthropologist perspective, it's very interesting how we've evolved over the years, you know, and how industry has evolved over the years. Because used to, guys, the number one industry was making leather. You know, that was the number one thing, making leather so that you could clothe people, you know, and then that was the number one trade that people were excited about. You know, we all know what the number one oldest profession is, but I ain't going to say it on here, you know, guys. So thank y'all for joining in. You know, it's awesome to have y'all here. Y'all know the normal rules. I'll talk for 30 minutes, you know, on a certain subject. And then you guys get to speak with me and hang out for about 30 minutes, you know, and then it's probably about bedtime. You know, guys, because it's been a long day, you know, and it's only getting bigger. So also, guys, I've got some good news. I found a complete Viking outfit for sale for $200 that if I can get it, you know, guys, here soon, then we'll have a complete outfit for the show. So I hope you guys will definitely enjoy that. Salzburg and cheese with barbecue sauce. Oh, Starsberg and cheese with barbecue sauce. What's Starsberg? That sounds awesome. What's up, Angel 420? How you doing? Anyway. Burritos versus chicken jockey. Well, anyway, guys, let's get back on to the conversation. So yeah, industriousness. You know, guys, it was industriousness that allowed us to figure out how to create this. It's industriousness that allowed us to figure out how to create these. It's industriousness that helped us figure out how to create hats, shirts, belts, everything we wear, everything we use. That's industriousness. If we didn't have industry and we didn't have, you know, the ability to create these things and the ability to make what we need and the ability to do what needs to be done to be able to, you know, bring about change, to be able to bring about growth in our people as a species, then we will stagnate. And guys, those species that stagnate don't make it. They just don't. And the last thing we want to do as a species is stagnate. And that's why, some of these new industries that are coming up, I do support. Some of them, I think they need some more research on, like these self-driving vehicles, guys. They need a little more research on that, because I don't trust a single car that drives itself yet. Wait till they've had the technology for about 100 years. Then I might think about it. But until then, no, boy, I'm not going to be responsible for that sucker plowing through a stop sign and hitting somebody. No, thank you. But it's a type of meat and pronounced Strasbourg. Oh, okay. It's a type of meat. All right. That sounds good. But anyway, guys, so it's awesome to have all y'all here. It's all my original fans and all that stuff. It's great to have y'all in the show. Right now we don't have anybody else here. So, Frosha, I moved some people that built their own mini Viking ship in the backyard. That's cool. That's something I wish I could do. But I'm not real good at, carpentry to that degree. I can build a little shed, but I can't build a boat. That would be a great skill to learn. Sorry guys if I'm not coughing or if I'm not laughing so much. I was coughing my head off because I was working so hard all day long. Lying here relaxing tonight. That's good to hear, baby. But that industriousness, that same strength has fueled mankind for the longest time. And a lot of people think that the biggest industrial growth came during the Industrial Revolution. But guys, no. There was massive industrial growth all throughout history. All throughout history. Guys, you just got to look back and do your research. There's several people that advanced very, very quickly. The Mayans were one of them. They were very, very industrious. We still don't even know how they did half the stuff they did, guys. What's up, Ford? How you doing? But we still don't know how the Mayans did half the things that they did. Their industry was incredible. Their craftsmanship was amazing. Guys, the Vikings had steel well beyond its years in, technological advancement. And what that means is the steel was so pure that nobody else had anything like it at the time. It was the way the Vikings would prepare it. And it was only done for the Ulfbjörn sword. And guys, as Viking, we believe in extreme industriousness. Not extreme, but we believe in industriousness. We believe in improvement through industriousness, not extreme industriousness. Excuse me. But anyhow, guys, that's how we look at the world. We look at it as this world has resources. Let's use them, but let's not abuse them. Everything in moderation, guys. And a lot of us don't need these big fancy houses. A lot of us don't need these big, fancy cars and everything like that. We're using some resources the wrong way, in my opinion. But anyhow, guys, when you get down to the fact of the matter, humankind has always relied on industry, for several different things, for food, for farming, for, development, for housing, for jobs. Guys, there's several reasons for industriousness, and like I said, the main reason is stagnation. If you don't take and move forward, you stagnate. And we've got to keep moving forward. But today, guys, I want to mention something else here in just a few more minutes about how I think that the Western culture is starting to stagnate, guys. But we'll talk about that here in a minute. But right now, let's have a skull, shall we? Skull. Oh, so that was good. Nice, good old spring water. Nothing like it. Anyway, guys, we got 40 people in here. Pop on in, say hi. I don't bite. I'll definitely give you a shout out. All right, see you later, Triple X. Thank you for stopping in. But anyway, guys, I'm not Viking, but you are Hun. Ooh, Attila. Yeah, he had a lot of kids, and the Huns were nobody to mess with. They had some of the greatest horsemen, on the planet. And not only that, but their recurve bows were some of the deadliest things the world had ever seen. And that, again, was brought on by industriousness. Somebody sat down and figured out how to take the typical bow and make it better, make it stronger, make it shorter, make it easier to use on horseback, make it more accurate, guys. And a true Mongolian or Hun crossbow or a recurve bow, man, you can't beat it. It's a great bow to own. Awesome for hunting. Yes, I have watched Deadliest Warrior several times. But anyhow, guys, let's get back into industriousness here for just a second. The Industrial Revolution not only set the pace for what America would end up being, but it also helped the men who bought this country. Because, guys, yes, somebody bought this country. The Fords, the Rockefellers, the Koch brothers, all those guys, the Rothschilds. Those people own us. They own this country. They have a contract somewhere with our name on it. And their families set up the first industries out here, set up the first major industries, first textile mills, first oil industries, the Morgans, all those guys, and because of that, they set their families up for life, and that's one of the importance about industriousness. If you are an industrious person, you can set your world up for life, guys. You can, very easily. You just got to put forth the effort. That's why you have to be industrious. You have to be able to look at a situation and be like, okay, there's a problem here. And then you have to be able to have the intelligence and the ingenuity to sit there and be, here's the solution. Guys, that is a great thing to have, because once you start to be able to put those two together, jobs will enjoy you on the side a lot better. You'll get promotions faster. You'll get raises quicker. Life becomes much better. But when you sit back on your duff and you're just like, I'll let somebody else do it. Even though you might have a wonderful idea, it might be the next greatest thing that could have made you a billionaire. Guys, try for your goals. Try for your dreams. That's part of being industrious. Go for what makes you happy, guys. Go for what makes you great. Always look inside yourself to find out what makes you you, and use it. Use it, guys. Use it to become even better. Now, what I was going to be talking about earlier, and what we're about to start right now. And oh boy, do I need a drink for this, and I wish this was alcohol. All right, guys. So, what I'm wanting to talk to y'all about, it's basically what I'm starting to call the fall of the Western culture, guys. And I hate to see it because it's my culture. We've started to lose a lot of our industriousness. We've started to rely on other countries to do the industry for us, to do all the work for us, to create for us. And guys, that's not good. The only thing we've been creating is video games, movies, and software programs. You know, guys, we really need to get back on the ball on making newer, better vehicles, making, you know, newer, better, you know, rockets for space. You know, SpaceX is doing great about that. You know, Flying 90 keeps up with that quite often, you know, and I watch a lot of those launch videos that he releases. And guys, you know, we need to look into making better submersibles to explore the oceans for possible uses for medical purposes. We need to look into exploring space for possible use for new mining facilities and things of that sort, so that we don't have to worry about mining our own planet, guys. We can literally just let the holes fill up. Let nature take back control. And then leave. And then start mining somewhere else. Like, say, meteorites, asteroids, comets, other planets. You know, guys, if we stopped focusing on just what builds a profit and brings in entertainment, if we would literally take a step back and look at what these guys are doing, they're trying to do nothing but lead towards a group of people locked in to entertainment 24/7, 100% of the time, and never focus on anything else, so that the leaders that would now be dictators can do whatever they want and no one would care as long as they were entertained. You know, we're quickly leading into becoming a nation and a culture of nothing but pop, nothing but culture, nothing but entertainment, you know, and unfortunately that culture is even under attack. You know, guys, we have people here in our own country of America attacking our own culture. And I'm not attacking the culture. I'm attacking these people, or I'm mentioning, not attacking. I'm mentioning these people who are coming in that are radical feminists, that are, you know, people who are on the, I would like to say, spectrum of crazy that needs to be possibly locked up more than I do. And there's sometimes I really need to be locked up. Like, I was talking to myself half the day. But anyway, guys. But hey, Sir Fly, how you doing? What's up, Jackson? Yes, I am bald. Scald to the bald. Oh, man. Oh, I didn't mind that he asked if I was bald. But anyway, guys. Oh, Elijah, welcome back in. You gonna keep talking about my Jen next time she shows up? Because otherwise, you're out now. Because I won't tolerate that again. Oh, you're all good, Nightshade. You're all good if it was an accident. As I just hope they saw it. Good, my Jen's still here. Anyway, guys, so back to where I was getting at. Industriousness and the fall of the American people. You know, we quit having people that want to go to work. You know, guys, they don't want to go to trade schools. They want to go to schools to be counselors, to teach about gender therapy, you know, to teach about gender studies, you know, things like that. They're not going to school to learn how to be engineers. They're not going to school to learn how to be, you know, doctors, anything like that. Who's going to cure us all? And if not doctors, who's going to build the robots to do it, guys? Because, and quite frankly, an AI digging around inside my body scares me. So I would never go to the doctor again. I would die first. You know, I don't care if it's a broke toe like freaking Jim Beam. I'm out. You know, guys. But getting back onto it, you know, we're having so many people that are taking mental days, you know, because they can't handle what's going on at work. Why'd you take the job? You know, if you can't handle the job, why'd you take it? You know, and to be honest, sure, mental health day, great. I'm all about mental health. But guys, these people are taking 1 to a week when you can take 1 to a year and be okay. You know, guys, and we're losing what it means to be American. We're losing the American spirit. And that is a terrible, terrible thing. You know, guys, we're starting to try to cancel our leaders. You know, we have people that can't even sit there and tell you who Abraham Lincoln was. We got people who can't tell you who Jonathan F. Kennedy was. John Kennedy. They can't tell you that. They can't tell you who Martin Luther King was. They can't tell you who George Washington was. Or Ulysses S. Grant. Gosh, I have so much trouble saying that name. But I got you. It's all right, Elijah. Just don't let it happen again. Anyway, guys, so yeah, if we don't get on the ball soon, if we don't get something moving, we don't get something going, we don't get people up off their butt, we don't get kids inspired to do something other than be a beta tester for video games or a YouTuber. You know, I chose to be a YouTuber because that's all I had left. You know, I had literally tried every single job else that was available to me in my area. So this was all I had left as an option. So yeah, that's when I started trying it. And guys, it turns out it works pretty good for me. You know, so, you know, if you're brand new here, please like, subscribe, hit the bell icon. You know, we enjoy having good conversations here. I'm almost done with my little rant, and then we're going to get into the hangout session, guys. But, you know, as far as I'm concerned, you know, some of these younger generations, some of these people who can't even handle stress from school, guys, you know, school can be rough, I'll admit, but, you know, it's not the end of the world. It's just high school, you know, and these kids can't handle it, you know, and they want to take mental health days for that. They want to, everybody's trying to find a way to be as different and as unique as possible. But what they don't realize is they're already different. They're already unique. Why? Because the hands of the Creator made it so. That's why. They're already different. They're already completely unique. Their own creation. Broke the mold after every one of us was made. Only ones who are different are twins. But guys, that's the great thing about the world. The diversity. D&D, Samantha, that's Dungeons and Dragons. Yeah. Yep, Dungeons and Dragons. I play it myself. But guys, we got to get back on the ball. We do. We got to get back to leading the world in all kinds of things. We got to set an example. We used to. We don't anymore. No. Now we set an example in Karens, spoiled brats, overpaid celebrities, scandals, the most absurd presidencies I've ever seen. And just all around not good things, man. We don't really represent very, very good in the world anymore, guys, as America. We don't represent much good anymore. And that breaks my heart. And I believe a huge chunk of that is because we've lost our industriousness. We've lost our discipline, you know. And I'll talk about discipline some other time, which I think I'll talk about discipline tomorrow night, you know. But anyway, guys, we've lost all that. You know, I think I've talked the subject to death. I think it's time for hangouts. What do you guys think? Y'all ready to hang out the rest of the night? Let's hang out. All right, here we go. Scald, my friends. All right. So, how's everyone's night been? Mine's been busy. Sorry I was late. What honestly made me late was I had to wait for the shower to open, guys. I looked awful. Drinking horn. What's up, every dog? How you doing, man? Oh, you're all good, Elijah. You said you're sorry. That's all you need to say. It's early afternoon for you. All right, sweetie. It's about 8 o'clock. It's about 9 something over here. Let me see. Yeah, it's almost 9:30 over here. Which, speaking of that, give me just a moment to gather up my meds. I was prepared. I was prepared. Let's go on ahead and get some of these out of here. Get them ready. But yeah, so guys, I wish I would have been able to bring my phone and show you guys how many new pieces of raw material that I have for walking sticks now. Got about 12 or 13. Various different kinds of wood. And I think you guys will really enjoy it. You know, I hope that they'll come out really good. You know, because I'm going to do videos making each and every one of them into a walking staff. Now, however, we got to wait for them to cure first, so that's going to take a minute. That's going to take a minute. So instead, we're going to do a video of me doing the 2 that I have here currently. Oh, that was empty. Right in the trash can. All right. We'll set these off to the side real quick. All right. How long does it take to make a walking stick? It depends. Depends on the wood. And how much you want done to it. If you're burning a lot of detail into it, it can take a minute. But if you're literally just taking and simply just making a simple walking staff, smoothing it out, putting a hole through it, putting a little wrist lanyard through it, and selling it as a walking stick, doesn't take long at all. You know, the part that takes the longest is curing it and then sealing it with tung oil later on. You know, it ends up giving it a beautiful polish finish. But it takes quite a few coats to do it. You coat it, let it dry for about 2 or 3 days, come back, you sand it down with some 1000 grit sandpaper, then you come back or you coat it again, then you come back 3 or 4 days later, you scratch it with the sandpaper, you coat it again. You repeat that process for about a month. So each staff is going to take about a month to make whenever the process gets finally started. You know, but right now we got to let them all dry out. We got to let them all cure, get good and hard, and then we'll be able to turn them into walking staffs. Thank you, Joyful. Thank you so much. What's up, Motorsports? How you doing? I'm doing pretty good myself, man. Yeah, I got an axe. He used Troll's Bane on the trolls. Yep. Yeah, Samantha, I used this axe right here. I used this axe right here. It's the same one I trained with in the video. You know, it's just one that I use each and every day. You know, it's one of my favorite little fully functional toys. I just got to sharpen it. I dulled it so that I could use it for training just in case I hit myself. Because, guys, up until recently, it had been several years before I had started training, you know, or since I had trained. You know, it had been several years since I had trained. And I am very, very rusty, and I am very embarrassed of myself. I look like a fool. But you know what? I'm not going to give up. I'm going to keep training with that axe until I get good. Troll's Bane. Yes, that is definitely Troll's Bane. All right, we got 10 people in here. We got 10 likes. Let's try to get 10 more by the time this video is over with. I like seeing that. Quarterstaff. It's not a bad idea because I don't see you being very tall there, Nightshade. I see you kind of being on the short side. I don't know. I could be wrong. Correct me if I am. $5'4"? Yeah, I'm 5'9". Have his phone. Elijah, you having issues over there, bud, or do I need to time you out again? But anyway, everybody, there's my 9:30 alarm. Let's pour some water into the drinking horn, and let's get this scald going, guys. There we are. Get the meds. All right. Scald to our health. Scald. Mr. Like some me 28 years old. Okay. What's up, Kelly, Nigeria? And he is 27. Okay. Yeah, is Jinjin in here? Mr. Like some me 28 years old. Okay. Old Nam. Okay. Guys, we have somebody I think cannot speak very clear English, or yeah, that's what I'm saying. Oh boy. Somebody's got Elijah's phone. He this not 27, he's 7 old. Kelly, what are you saying? Because you're starting to sound like a child, and I'm about to throw you out. Because I can't tell how old you are, and the way you text is not very clear. Well, am I like that, Elijah? Because I can't tell if they're children, and I really can't have children here, you know, and that kind of texting, you know, guys, that usually represents a very small child. And I really don't want a very small child in here. Because, guys, I'm 37 years old. talking to someone like me can get me in trouble. Not you guys. It'll get me in trouble. You know, and I don't want to do that. I would much rather stay in my little happy safe corner. Then Elijah, I'm gonna have to ask you to leave, and you know, because being 13 years old, you shouldn't be in here, Bubba. There it went. Thank you, Davey. All right. Thank you very much, Davey. I didn't know you were watching. I don't know. Elijah was just acting strange. So I have no idea. And the other guy was just talking weird. But guys, welcome in. Welcome in. You know, it's awesome having everybody here. You know, we definitely are enjoying the show. Just realize I do have moderators in the background. So if you come in, you try to be a troll, you come in, you start acting goofy, or you start acting like a child, you will go kapoof. Okay? You will just go poof. Bye. And it's because we don't need children here and we don't need trolls. No drama, guys. So otherwise, other than that, pop on in, say hi, come talk to us. Let's see what everybody's got to say. You know, it's been a long, hard work day. We got a lot of nice, good walking staffs ready and waiting on us to get them started. And some of them look kind of cool. There's one that comes up and forks out and kind of like looks like a bifork, almost like a pitchfork. And I think I'm going to carve that one to look really neat. You know, make it look like a serpent or something like that. So I think that one's going to look cool. You know, I'm going to do my best with it. So we're going to see how that one comes out for sure. Yeah, I'm excited about that one. But I hope you guys will tune in for the crafting videos for sure. They're going to be coming up real soon now that spring's here. The rains are gone away. The cold's gone away. You know, we're actually able to go on ahead and start working, guys. I'm going to definitely be enjoying doing these videos for you guys. So I hope y'all enjoy watching them as much as I'll enjoy doing them. Well, anyway, guys, you know, it's been a wonderful show so far. I thank everybody for popping in that has shown up. Bleh, I can't speak right now. We're just hanging out right now. Anybody has anything they want to say, jump on in, say hi. I'll give you a shout out and I'll give you a skull. So jump on into the show, guys. Hit the like button, subscribe button, bell icon, all that jazz. All right. Now we're going to go on ahead and get our drinking horn ready. Get ourselves some more water anyway. Oh, doo-doo-doo. Got ourselves some more water here. Got Charles Bane sitting beside us. And yeah, we're waiting to see what responses you guys have. What do you think about industriousness? What do you think about tonight? Have you had a great night? Have you had a bad night? Come tell me. Nothing wrong with it. Come on. Come talk to me. Another good scald there, guys. Well, I'm hoping the chat hasn't frozen. So if somebody can respond to me, please do. Because I don't see anybody responding and it's been a few minutes. So Nightshade, if you're still here, sweetheart, respond. If Jin's still in here, respond. Otherwise, I know my chat's frozen. I'm going to give it just a few more minutes. And if my chat's frozen, guys, I'm just going to go on ahead and go. We're only at 20 minutes left on the clock. So, yeah, we're going to give it till about 15 minutes. And if nobody's answered since then yes, my chat's froze, which sucks. You know, I hate that fact. But, you know, it happens from time to time, and I'm starting to get used to it. But at the same time, I hate restarting my life, especially for just 20 minutes, you know, or 15 minutes. You know, it's like just to hop on, hop off. Nah. Well, anyway, guys, you know, I think I said we were going to go to 15 minutes till, but I can't stand here and yak at the camera all by myself the whole night. You know, it's always good to see people popping in and out and talking to new people. So I hope you guys enjoyed the show. I hope y'all found it wonderful. Thank you all for popping in. We'll see y'all next time. Goodbye. Remember, seed from the swamp, layer from a gator. Love you, mama. Love you, papa. Love yourself. Be kind. Always find a way to help, guys.